see that you've been learning, and when I take you shopping, you spend it like you earned it. And when you popped off on your ex, he deserved it. I thought you would've won from the jump, that confirmed it.
Hello, hey, good evening, YouTube. This is your YouTuber, The Creative Channel, and I'm here to do a math homework tutorial for geometry, 10th grade. And the assignment we'll be doing is map the paths. Okay. Number one, the statement says, Ben began at 3-1 and walked to 4-5. Katie decided to begin at -3-1, then tried to mirror Ben by walking to -4-5. Ben jumped to 5-5 and sidestepped to 4-3, and Katie jumped to -5-5, then sidestepped to -4-1. Ben returned to 3-1, and Katie returned to -3-1. So, what we're going to do, we're going to plot the beginning plots. So, that'll be 3-1, -3-1. So, -3, 1, that's K. So, we'll just put K for Katie. K equals Katie. And then Ben, he's 3-1. So, put B. B equals Ben. Sorry, my handwriting. Okay, so number one, did Katie mirror Ben? Sorry. If you, A says if you answered no, identify the incorrect coordinate Katie used and find the correct coordinates. Explain your decision and identify the line of symmetry she used. She should have used as a mirror. How did you know that this should have been the line of symmetry? But then again, you have B. If you answered yes, identify the line of symmetry Katie used as a mirror. How did you know it was the line of symmetry? Well, let's look at the graph. So K to B is a straight line. I drew it as straight as I could. But K to B, that's pretty straightforward. She did mirror each side because it says Ben began at 3-1. He walked to 4-5. And then after that, Katie also mirrored him by going -4 and then going up to 5. So we'll put K prime, and then put B prime, stands for Katie prime's coordinate and Ben's prime coordinate. So as you could tell, they still ended up at the same distance away from the origin or the y-axis. So therefore, the answer would be yes, because she followed or I guess you'd say reflected or mirrored Ben. Period. How did we know? She reflected over the y-axis. Okay? 2, if Katie had instead began at -3, walked to -4-3, sidestepped to -5-1, jumped to -4-5, and then returned to -2-1, could she claim that she had created a mirror image of Ben's path? Justify your answer. Well, clearly, Ben started at 3, -1. So Ben 3, -1. Oh, wait, Ben 3, 1, sorry. And then Katie clearly started at -3, 1, which means it was mirrored. Mirrored. All right, twice, so you guys can see it. Mirrored. And then it says when she returned, she came back to -2, 1, which is incorrect. So the answer is she couldn't mirror Ben because it isn't the same reflection. Period. Okay. Let's move on to the next scenario. Ben and Katie decide to change the game and use some letter blocks to mark points they visited on the grid. Ben placed blocks A, B, C as indicated by the points below, then drew a chalk line between them. Number 3, it says label the coordinates Ben used and then construct the graph of where Katie would have placed her blocks if she correctly reflected Ben's figure across x-axis. Okay, so Ben's plots. A is 1, 5. 1, 5. His B coordinate is 4, 3. Then his C coordinate is 3, 1. Okay, those are Ben's. Alright, those are Ben's. Now, Katie's, if she had placed them properly, A prime would have been 1, -5. B prime would have been 4, -3. C prime would have been 3, -1. So to show you where they would be on the graph, 1, -5. A prime. B 4, -3. That's B prime. C prime is 3, -1. So C prime. Okay. 4, describe how you determined where to place Katie's block. It gave us a hint, so let's not start with it. The prompt gave us a hint, us or me a hint about where she would have placed her plots. Period. Okay. 5, each block placed corresponds to the one that Ben placed. List each pair of coordinates. So you're going to use this set of plots. So you're going to put A prime 1, -5. Then put B prime 4, -3. Then C prime, 3, -1. So those are the quotes. I mean the coordinates. Number 6. What can you observe about the distance between each of Ben's blocks and the corresponding block Katie placed? Well, we can observe, or I can observe, that each plot Katie had corresponded with Ben's across the x-axis. Okay? All right, 7. If Ben walked 2 feet from his block A toward his block C, and Katie mirrored his movement by walking 2 feet from the blocks corresponding to A and C, would Katie and Ben be the same distance from the reflection line? How can you be certain? Okay, we can be certain by, well, if you look at it, look at the graph, not that graph, but go back to graph for number 3, where we did the little plots here. So you're gonna use this graph and this one. So A to C, go all the way down, you're at 1. So you're going 2 spaces, so that's 2. So if she goes 2 spaces, she walks basically 2 spaces. So she's going all the way over here. And he's going from point A to point C. Point A prime to point C prime. So therefore, she does actually mirror him. She does mirror him. And we are certain, I'm going to say I'm certain that she travels the same exact distance on the graph. Okay, number 8. How would you define a reflection now that you have analyzed some of the properties of reflected images using the coordinate plane? I would define reflection as reflection is a way to show that when an image, oh no, scratch that. To show that an image can be flipped, and still have the same x-axis or y-axis. There you go. So that was it, you guys. That's a geometry lesson, I guess, of homework. That assignment was called Map the Plots or something along those lines. I will be posting more of those type of videos, like to help people with geometry, because geometry can get confusing to some people. To me, it's pretty easy. That's why I'm doing this video. Stay tuned for more of homework videos and stuff like that. I will be getting back to my singing career as well, but for just now, I'm probably gonna just do majority of the homework stuff now. So at least people will think that it's gonna be easier, and I am here to help. And if you think this is useful, there will be a link in the description down below, and it will be a PayPal link. If you think this will help in the future, I can also send copies of certain types of assignments. Just let me know what type of assignment you need help with, and I will figure it out and get back to you. Bye.
That you've been learning, and when I take you shopping, you spend it like you earned it. And when you popped off on your ex, he deserved it. I thought you would've won from the jump, that confirmed it.